perish. All right, here we go. So on your right, Ari Lax playing his deck, Tempered Steel, just been annihilating people left and right. On your left, Adam Boyd playing Blue White Blade. Ari Lax, of course, done well on the Pro Tour and Grand Prix circuit, played quite a bit at the high levels of Magic, had a pretty good year. And big story for Ari, he's at 35 points right now. He has got 10 points for top 8ing, which locks him up 1 bye at the Invitational. If he wins this tournament, he'll get 15, giving him 2 byes at the Invitational. Exactly.
Really important for him because that second bye can make all the difference in both tiebreakers and you just get a free win, which is obviously awesome.
And he can't make Vegas. This weekend's his last shot. If he doesn't win today or in the Standard Open, he'll have Legacy to make up for it. But he came out here specifically to get more Star City Open points, and look at just what he's done. On your left, Adam Boyd, a longtime Magic player. I remember working with him back on some forums back in the day. Been around for a while.
Not a name I'm familiar with. Is he from the Midwest here or somewhere else?
I believe he's from the Midwest, yeah.
All right, maybe we can get a tweet in from where Adam Boyd's from.
Yeah, I remember him on, used to be like Mize Ting's Good Gamery, that whole circle. So we talked about him on a green deck once, back when I was in that kind of thing.
Back when Dungrove Elder was not printed, and there was really no reason.
back when I was casting Blanchwood Armor.
Oh boy, that's a good card right there.
It's like Dungrove Elder except an enchantment.
It's really good. You put it on your hexproof creature, right? Is that how it worked?
Yeah, Troll Aesthetic. Put it on a lot of Troll Aesthetics.
I guess there was hexproof.
It's like a build your own Dungrove Elder.
Exactly. So it looks like Ari might have kept his 7, and Adam I think is mulling to 6 here. Not sure who won the roll, but Ari already off to a good start, keeping his 7.
Chris Oil predicts a 60-card MTG deck will win. Just saying, Logan Peterson might not be 60 cards.
Ooh.
Or was it his opponent? One of the two people's last match were 61 cards.
Yeah, it
was. Was it him or his opponent? I think it was his opponent, actually. I think it was.
Either way, he's probably right. A 60-card deck probably will win.
I think the odds are in the 60-card deck's favor.
If I was a betting man, I would not take that bet.
All right, so Ari Lax, turn 1, Nexus Vault Scourge, off to the races. I see a Signal Pest poking out in his hand.
And Adam Boyd, I think that's a Spellskite on top, and he just has Plains Go. Ari Lax swings for 1.
Yep, and gains a point of life back.
And has a Plains and a Vault Scourge and a Signal Pest, so off to a really fast start is Ari Lax. He's going to be swinging in for 4 points of lifelink damage next turn. And Adam only has 1 permanent in play. Just the start Ari wanted.
Yeah, there he goes. So there's a Spellskite, but those ground blockers not so good against this strategy. Here we go, smashing in for 4 damage, gain 4 life, and deal 2 poison.
So attacking on multiple vectors is Ari Lax. I saw another Signal Pest in his hand, so if he has another land, we're going to see that as well, and another Inkmoth Nexus.
Apparently Boyd is a local from Kansas City.
Nice.
So there you go.
Hometown hero.
Yeah, those dirty Michiganders like Ari Lax coming to steal Kansas City spots. Kyle Dubinsky also playing Tempered Steel. He conceded to Ari once in the Swiss, but I think he ended up X2, I want to say.
I think so, too.
Okay, so there's a Ghostly or Midnight Haunting. That'll block both those Vault Scourges. Certainly good for that. Or maybe just eat up the Signal Pests.
Yeah, whichever he determines is more deadly, I would think it would be the Signal Pests.
I also would think it would be the Signal Pests. All right, dispatch 1.
Okay, so that's great for Ari, but he might redirect it to the Spellskite.
Probably going to redirect it to Spellskite, I would imagine.
Yep.
Yeah, over to Spellskite.
Paying 2 life in the process. 2 very relevant life, down to 12.
Of course, now Ari certainly has the possibility of just poisoning Adam out, too.
Right.
If that Inkmoth Nexus doesn't die, he's going to go to 5 poison, and then with the 2 Nexus that he has...
Yeah, I don't think Adam can really even afford to block the Nexus here, because if he does, he's all of a sudden he's at...
I think you block the Signal Pest.
I think so, too.
Yeah. You want to cut off his Inkmoth Nexus poison damage.
Yeah, that gives you a lot more time against both damage sources. But he's thinking about it. Not sure what's in Adam's hand right now. If he has a Day of Judgment, that obviously changes things, but it doesn't look like he does.
Yeah, I can't tell what's in Adam's hand either. There are quite a few cards you could have right here.
Yeah. Ari, I think only is down to 1 card. So we'll see what that might be. Ooh.
There's a second Nexus, so he's got some blockers available. Is that a Tempered Steel Ari just drew?
I think he did.
Oh, dear.
And if he resolves that, That's going to be bad news for
I know
Adam.
Ari's just going to slam it out of his hand. That's why he's just going to snap it. Yeah, just like that. I know Ari. That's exactly how he plays his cards like this.
Boom, he says, and serves in. Triumphantly serves in with his creatures.
Whenever Ari is like about to play a card, it's like, if you counter it, you counter it. That's how he does it.
Boom.
Slams it down.
I like it. And now Adam is in a really tough spot, facing down 6 normal damage and 3 poison.
Yeah, Tempered Steel, trademark card. I have a like 5-foot one of those in my room. It's great.
5-foot Tempered Steel.
Yeah, I picked it up in a contest. It's pretty awesome.
Does it give +3/+3 to attack creatures?
I wish. Unfortunately, it does not.
Man.
It's pretty sweet though. I just like having it around. I also have like a gigantic Chaos Orb and some other cool things.
Yeah, they always play the games with the big Magic cards at Nationals every year, right?
Yeah, and then they also had them at the Magic parties in Seattle at PAX where they reveal new cards. Nice. So that's where I got my Tempered Steel from.
Another reason to move to Seattle.
There you go. Yeah, seriously, Seattle's just the nuts.
So Adam deep in the tank on this block here, but it looks like he decides on 1 and 1.
All right, and just throws away his 2 Nexus Eyes. Whatever you want to call them. Nexus Eye. Nexus is the proper terminology. Nexi sounds way cooler.
Right.
So. And like we're really intelligent, even though it's completely wrong. So he puts some very creative tokens. Not that it's going to matter for the -1/-1 counters. And I think Ari's like, "What you gonna do, bro?"
Yeah, I mean he's paying. Adam pays 2 life to play attacks info.
And picks up his cards.
Oh boy.
And Ari takes down game 1 pretty handily.
Yeah, that was just an incredible draw from Ari Lax.
Yep, that's exactly what that deck does, and that is Tempered Steel at its finest.
Almost reminiscent of Affinity.
Yeah. It's crazy stuff. In the meantime, we have 3 months of StarCityGames.com premium to give away.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting stuff. Gavin Verhey with the Zach Hall, and one of you is going to win 3 months of Star City Games premium. Here's how it works. We're going to ask you a question right here. On Twitter, you're going to tell us the answer to that question and make sure you use the hashtag SCG premium. You can put it at SCG Live if you want or whatever you want to do, but hashtag SCG premium is the only way you could potentially win. If you answer it correctly, we'll choose one person out of all the people who answered it correctly. One of those people will win 3 months.
Chosen at random, correct?
Chosen at random.
Yep.
If you don't win here, you still have a chance in the semifinals, finals, and all of Legacy top 8 tomorrow. Here's the question. Ari Lax plays a very specific deck in Legacy. He's well known for it. What deck can we expect him to be playing tomorrow? We've talked about it a lot this weekend, talked about it some even before the top 8 started. Tell us what it is. If you don't know, he's done well in Star City events with this. So if you can go to the coverage page, look through some of the old events.
Yep. And just a hint, it is not Tempered Steel.
It's not
to give you a hint.
It's not Tempered Steel. He is not Tempered Steel in Legacy.
But definitely pay attention because we're giving it 4 years of premium.
A little under 4 years.
A little under 4 years of premium for free,
yeah,
just for answering some questions. So tweet us at SCG Live, but make sure you include the hashtag SCGKC. That's the important part.
Yeah, exactly.
And SCG Premium.
And SCG Premium. Very important. Yeah. Yep. You just make sure you, watching through the weekend can really give you dividends as you find out these little tips and tricks that we've been talking about, and end it with a free premium.
Score yourself in premium. If you did, you would have known that, like Logan Peterson has known, that Jerry Thompson was championing Mono Black Infecta.
And had his newest list.
Exactly. Probably a big reason why he chose it.
Yeah, Jerry, not only with his articles, of course, but the brand new Jerry TV that just debuted. Really good stuff.
Very cool. If you want, check it out on Star City Games Premium.
Really good stuff.
I believe they're too deep right now into Jerry TV.
Yeah, it's really good stuff. Jerry's been bringing the noise, especially with Evan Irwin announcing the Magic Show is going away, or at least on a regular basis it's going away, which is, if you guys haven't heard, Evan has an article up on Star City Games about, really, I mean, it's been a big deal for him, the Magic Show. It's done a lot of great things, but it's just such a time commitment, which is totally understandable. He puts so much time into that. And he might still do regular shows for big tournaments he goes to, record some coverage, but other than that, don't expect them. Yeah,
I mean, part of the big reason that he did the Magic Show was just to sort of bring more video coverage into the fore for Magic commentary, because there really wasn't anything. There were no real Magic video shows then. There were a few podcasts, but that was it. And he's sort of accomplished his goal. There are a ton of videos out there right now, like Jerry TV.
Right, exactly. And AJ TV too. You can also check out AJ does stuff like that every now and then too. So.
Maybe we can get them to duel someday. AJ TV, Jerry TV.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Play against each other, cross promotion. It's like when Buffy goes over to Angel. That's awesome.
I'm sure they trash talk each other too. And that would be fun in and of itself.
One of the funnest matches I've ever watched was when AJ Soccer played against Cedric Phillips at Nationals this year. It was quite excellent. The matchup was hilarious. They're just making fun of each other the whole time and like making jokes that only 0.3% of the Magic community even understands.
Right.
It was great stuff.
But mostly just trash talking.
Yeah. So Ari Lax taking a mulligan here. Adam Boyd keeping. No, I guess this is.
I think they're still
sideboarding.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought I saw Ari like slam his card on top of his deck, but apparently not. Looks like they're still sideboarding.
Yep, and Adam finishes up with his boarding and now will shuffle up.
Yep, shuffle him up, as Patrick Chapin would say. In his album, The Gathering.
So, do you think Ari keeps in his dispatches and all his end spells point removal here, or does he?
I think some removal is certainly important.
Right.
I mean, Adam does have creatures in his deck that he's going to want to get rid of. On the flip side, it's really important that Ari is just as quick as possible. He doesn't want the game to go too long, and I think he has the advantage. I don't think this is a great matchup for Adam. I think Ari is favored, and I think Ari knows that as long as he has a reasonable draw that isn't clogged with removal, he'll be in good shape.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's a problem that a lot of people do. It's a common mistake. They fill their deck up with all these reactive cards, but if they're the beatdown, as Mike Flores would say, you can't do that.
All right. And now, looks like players cutting each other's decks.
Yep.
And about to draw their sevens. Or no, I guess they just passed them back. Certainly taking their time sideboarding here.
They have the full 3 minutes at their disposal. It looks like they're using it all.
The very ambiguous 3 minutes, yes.
That's an interesting rule. So at what point in sideboarding do you call a judge on your opponent? Do you ever do it?
Well, not while I'm still sideboarding, that's for sure.
Well,
No. But seriously, what I've done before actually is just set a timer on. For example, I have a friend. I've done it before too, but I have a friend who just always does it on his iPhone. Just like pulls it out, it's 3 minutes, puts it in the middle of the table, just so you know, I'm not gonna be a jerk. But when this runs out, you have to have your deck presented.
Right.
And it's like, all right, well, that's fair. I mean, totally fair to everybody.
It's a good way to do it. I mean, because that puts the constraint on you too. You can't take more than 3 minutes when it's out.
And
there.
that way, it's not like you're trying to take advantage of it or anything like that. I've definitely, when I was playing on the Pro Tour and in one of the feature matches, I was in there. Once a judge came over and was like, "You're taking too long," and I was like, "All right, well, I guess I get my warning for this. So I better not do this again."
Well, I guess I'm done sideboarding.
Yeah. All right, now the players are taking their opening hands. Adam Boyd.
It will be on the play for sure, and he is mulliganing
He's
again.
going to ship him back to Paris.
So 2 times he's going to 6, and Ari casually looks at his hands.
in a very Ari fashion. We called him the Justin Bieber of the JSS circuit earlier.
Right. And also will mulligan.
All right, so some trips to Paris for both of them, but not the kind you get for winning a PTQ.
No, not so much. We'll see 2 6-card hands here.
The Paris mulligan, as it was originally called.
Yep. Who do you think is favored when both players are on 6, or even if if they both go to 5?
I think the fewer cards they go to, the less Ari is favored. Because as Ari loses cards, he loses his potential of a quick start and gives Adam more of a chance to get in the game. On the flip side, Ari could still just jam a quick Hero Blade hold that Adam can't answer, and that'll be that.
Right, that card's really powerful. But that said, Ari doesn't play that many mana sources, so the lower on cards he goes, the harder Hero Blade hold is to cast. And his namesake Tempered Steel as well. But we will see as they both shuffle up.
Yeah, of course. I mean, even at 5 cards, the Tempered Steel deck can still get those draws that are Signal Pest, or Mox Opal, Inkmoth Nexus, Untap, or Memnite, Tempered Steel.
You're dead in like 2 turns.
It's just fun.
Like we just saw.
Yeah, exactly. It's just funny when you look at the deck. It's like I did not peg Vault Scourge as a playable when I was looking through the set, but it's like it's pretty good in this deck.
It is. I mean, the lifelink you wouldn't think would be that relevant in an aggro deck, but it really is.
Yeah, there are just some beatdown decks that just can't race the lifelink.
And they draw their 6.
Yeah, and see if Adam is any happier with his.
Pointing at his cards here, maybe counting mana. He keeps. And Ari keeps 2. So both players on 6. Adam leading with a Seachrome Coast, Ari with a Plains and a Vault Scourge. Same as last time.
Vault Scourge, once again, pretty innocuous, but does some jobs.
Yep. So Adam dismembers it, not having any of the same thing.
Yeah, no Vault Scourge nonsense here.
So Adam, I see a Mana Leak peeking out in his hand right now. I imagine he'll slam that on most any play Ari has.
But even another Vault Scourge.
Maybe. It's low impact, but no, he chooses not to Mana Leak it. Maybe he wants to save it for a Tempered Steel or a Hero.
Alright, well, that Vault Scourge is down. Ari has no other play. I mean, plays the Plains, but has no other spell, rather.
Right. Now, I did see a Hero Blade hold in Ari's hand. So he does have that end game available to him.
There's a Ratchet Bomb, and
Ratchet
Ari
Bomb.
said that was the card he was worried about. I was talking to him earlier. He said Ratchet Bomb is the card he is most scared about after sideboarding out of any deck.
Really?
He would rather see Ratchet Bomb, or rather see Ancient Grudge than Ratchet Bomb.
That's surprising to me. I guess Ratchet Bomb does blow up Tempered Steel, which is part of why Ari's been winning, because that card is so tough to deal with right now.
Right, and there's Tempered Steel down right there. I think Glenn Jones described it as split card, Plague Wind, Tranquility. So
That's a good way to describe it. Many 2-drops in his deck. And there's another Tempered Steel in Ari's hand right now.
But that's so greedy if you go for it, because that Ratchet Bomb is just going to take up to 3 and take it out. Or do you just not play for that?
Yeah, I don't think so. Basically,
Snapcaster Mage on Dismember,
yeah,
getting rid of the Vault Scourge.
Dropping to 9.
And this is very relevant, dropping to 9. All right, there's a Glinthawk Idol. When Cedric Phillips was playing this deck, and he's played a lot of the Tempered Steel deck, he said that Glinthawk Idol was consistently his best card.
Really?
Yeah, he really liked it. I don't know if Ari would agree. That Hero Bladehold has been a big deal for him, but which one of is in Ari's hand right now, by the way?
And if Adam decides to pop that Ratchet Bomb on the Glinthawk Idol, there'll only be Mana Leak standing between him and Hero Bladehold. So if he ever taps out, that's going to get him.
And of course, there's still that wonderful Tempered Steel hiding away in Ari's hand too. Now the Ratchet Bomb is on 2. It could take care of that Glinthawk Idol if that's what Adam wants to do.
Yeah, well, I mean, Adam's going to be in a tough spot when Ari attacks with that Idol, because dropping to 5 is not a good option for him.
Yeah, I mean, it does put him to dead if Ari just draws a couple spells in a row. Adam maybe floods a little bit.
Right. The thing, though, about taking out the Glinthawk Idol is that he has that Mana Leak, so he can at least counter the next spell.
Right.
As long as it's not something like a Memnite or a 1-drop with a land. But he probably would have played any of those already.
I think there was some life total confusion. Ari points to the Vault Scourge, and they fix it up, but Ari has the correct life total.
So right now we're in Adam's main phase.
And
His turn 4.
thinking about what to do. I see a Mana Leak in his hand, but I can't really make out the other cards that well.
No.
All right.
Definitely can't.
Income Snappy.
Interesting. And Ari, of course, going to take that. It's 2 damage. Bring him to 17.
Not interested in blocking there?
He might be worried about some sort of trick to bounce that Tempered Steel or something crazy like that. Although they did get the deck list.
They should know everything. We don't have the deck list in front of us, so I can't tell you exactly what's going on. So Adam cracks the Ratchet Bomb. I might have blocked there if I was Ari, but Ari just... Someone's going to snap down that hero in the Ari-like fashion.
Triumphantly
and
slams
so he does have an Oblivion Ring. It's O-Ring.
And that
Mirror Crusader serves in.
That's going to put him on a fairly quick clock.
Ari
although
13.
Another hero. Boom. Your move, Adam.
Also worth noting, Ari has another Steel in his hand, and he has Inkmoth Nexus on the battlefield.
Very true.
So that's a 2-turn clock if there are 2 Tempered Steels out.
Yep. If he draws a land, he can play it and activate the Nexus.
Or if he just draws a Memnite. Dismember from Adam drops him to 5 life, but Nexus, of course, if Nexus is Ari's plan, it won't work that way. All right, so
That
3 mana.
O-Ring, I think, but he has Mana Leak mana up, so that's not going to work.
O-Ring. It's Mana Leaked. And passes back.
Ooh, so Ari not all of a sudden not in a great spot.
Yeah, Ari is taking damage from that Crusader down to 9, and there's a hero from Adam.
Wow.
Ooh, that turns the tide. That's a Gideonger off the top for Ari?
Might be I think that's a 3rd hero.
Is it? I thought it was it might be a hero.
Either way, that's not going to do it.
Let's see, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What did Ari... What's in Ari's hand?
Ari has another Steel. Oh, that is not.
That's a Dispatch.
Oh,
to tap
Dispatch
the hero.
to tap it.
Buy a turn, I suppose.
Yeah, unfortunate for Ari that he didn't have a 3rd artifact. That Mulda 6 really coming into play there.
Yeah, no Metalcraft is certainly an issue. All right, so it looks like Ari's going to just shump block the Mirror Crusader with that Inkmoth Nexus.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his plan is here.
Has to find something that goes over the top. I don't think he has that something. That damage he took from that Snapcaster Mage, is that relevant in this game? I don't think it is.
No, probably not.
I mean, Ari scoops him up, heading into Game 3 now.
All right, but Ari gets to play this game, which is huge. The Mana Leaks from Adam Boyd drastically drop if he's on the draw.
Yeah, I don't think there's any way Adam can keep those Mana Leaks in with a straight face, because even though Ari relies on Tempered Steel and Hero Bladehold, if Ari has like a signal past Memnite start, something like that, Adam Boyd has to tap out, and then those Mana Leaks are just wasted cards in his hand.
Definitely. I mean, it's a good dream. Hey, this is my answer to Tempered Steel, but it never really works out that way. It seems like it always seems like you're on the back foot if you're on the draw versus a deck like that. In a perfect world, he would be able to Mana Leak it, but not every game goes like that.
In the meantime, Wesley Schaefer on Twitter asks, "What is Merfolk/Fish?" My answer is tune in tomorrow to find out.
Ooh, I'm sure we'll see a lot of that deck, especially with the resurgence and counterbalance. Merfolk preys on that deck, or has been known to in the past at least.
Let's see. So once we don't have sideboards in front of us, but I feel like Ari is still favored after sideboarding, even though Adam got some tools.
Definitely. I mean, Adam basically has to break serve here. The player that has won the play has won each game.
Yeah, and I mean, especially if Ari gets to keep his 7 cards, it's going to be rough on Adam.
Right.
Ari is known for keeping some loose 7s sometimes, but sometimes they work out for him too. So.
For every Drew Levin who keeps a 1-lander and doesn't get there, there's an Ari who keeps a 1-lander and makes top 8.
Oh man,
so.
you guys should see Ari and Owen keep some of their hands and then get there. I remember when I was watching Ari play Jund, and you just like keep 2-land double Bloodbraid Elf on the play, and he just gets there.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Ari has a lot of play skill backing him up too, and that's kind of the thing. When you hit the convergence of like good play skill and getting a little lucky, you run away with it. For example, Jesse Hampton, who made top 8 of Portrait Philadelphia with the Through the Breach deck. He's a very good player from Seattle. I know him, and he's quite good. And he just got a little lucky at the Pro Tour. I remember he kept the hand on the play that was like Plains, double Aether Adepts, a bunch of stuff like that, and just got there, drew a bunch of lands in a row.
I mean, no one has ever top 8'd a tournament like a Pro Tour without getting a little lucky on their way there.
You gotta get a little lucky somewhere, or at least not get unlucky.
Right, one of the two, because if so, you're just going to be knocked out.
The game is mostly skill, but of course there's always that element of luck there too.
If we want a skill game, a completely skill game, we'd be playing chess. We'd be watching Ari confidently slam down his queens and rooks.
Yeah, I'd be like, oh, gotcha, buddy. It's like that, some of the scenes in Searching for Bobby Fischer, that's always a movie I think of.
Great movie.
That movie is really phenomenal. If you haven't seen it, I really recommend it. After Brian Killer had championed it for so long, I finally got around to watching it earlier this year, and I was just blown away. It was so phenomenal.
Definitely.
I love that movie. Man.
Check it out. PG movie, I think, so good for everybody.
Yeah, if you got a family, good for kids. It's really reminds me of when I was a kid. Watching that movie, I was like, that's what it was like for me when I was 13.
I definitely played chess when I was young. How about you?
I just played Magic.
Oh, Magic, yeah.
But there's enough parallels I could draw there that I was able to get into it. I mean, I played the game chess. I didn't play competitively.
Right.
I knew how to play. Played my parents. My brother.
How'd you do? Probably won most of those games, huh?
Beat my brother quite a bit. Yeah. My dad was actually really good at chess, though. So.
All right, so the players shuffling up for their Game 3, shuffling each other's decks, it looks like. Will be underway shortly.
All right, let's see if the players can keep their 7s this time.
Yep, hasn't happened yet. Adam being the recipient of 2 unfortunate mulligans from his deck. Ari only 1. So here they go, drawing their 7. Ari with his death stare there. And instantly keeps his hand.
Oh, that's not what Adam Boyd wants to see.
Never good.
How good of a hand do you think it is? Or do you think it's a sketcher that Ari's just ready to keep?
I think so. He has that look on his face. I'm sure we'll see a turn 3 Tempered Steel either way. But
turn 2, why not?
Turn 2.
Oh,
yeah.
I saw multiple permanents.
All right, Memnite.
The gold Plains Memnite opener.
Yep. Glacial Fortress Go. Mana Leak is in Adam's deck afterboard.
He just drew Mox Opal too. He could really accelerate out here. So he's gonna go Shrine of Loyal Legions.
That is not a card we've seen much of this weekend. I think that's the first time it's entered the battlefield.
But certainly a beating against these control decks.
Oh yeah, very good.
Or even these mid-range control decks. I mean, you get so many tokens, and with Tempered Steel, those tokens are brutal. Midnight crashes in for another point, dropping Adam to 18.
I think Ari has 2 heroes in his hand.
That is Ari's favorite card, and that Mox Opal will speed it up by a turn. Notice how Ari isn't playing the Mox Opal. It does that for a couple reasons. A, he can catch Adam out of nowhere with a Hero Blade hold. Second of all, it lets him power up his Glinthawk Idol for free later on.
Definitely, that's always important. It saves you that 1 mana on the crucial turn where you need it.
I remember walking by Cedric Phillips when he was playing this deck, and he just had like a turn 1 Memnite and didn't play it, and it blew my mind.
Right.
Because he was saving it for to activate Glinthawk Idol later on. He was like, yeah, just better on my curve. I can deal more damage this way. He's playing a beatdown deck, so I can't attack anyway.
Definitely.
All right, so Adam goes for Mana Leak on the Glinthawk Idol.
Now
And
Ari has a Plains and a Mox Opal.
so he just throws the Opal out there this turn.
Now it's interesting if Ari didn't play either of those. Adam might tap out, not hold up Mana Leak mana because he's like, okay,
Yeah, he's
he
only
only
got
has
2
mana,
lands.
right? But
Yeah, I think I might have held those if I were Ari, but I'm not sure. He's played this deck a lot more than I have.
yeah, I
so.
think he has a Dispatch in hand. I think that might be why he
Gonna
did it.
revoke existence. Untap. Now that Mox Opal is not live.
No, it's not. But
But
he
Ari
drew
has a
another
4th
Plains.
lands. And just ships.
Yeah. Interesting.
Are you sure he has got a hero?
Those might not be heroes.
I think there's an O-ring in there. And things starting to swing in Adam Boyd's favor.
Yeah, the longer the game goes,
Oh, and there's the Ratchet Bomb.
that he's so feared. Yep.
That another Mox Opal?
Oh, that might be those might be dispatches in his hand.
I think one is an Oblivion Ring. Maybe there's Dispatch in there too. Uh-oh, this is not what Ari wanted to see. The Memnite is really only force there.
Right, and it might just blow up from this Ratchet Bomb here.
All right, Adam takes 1, drops to 16.
Takes the one. No need to blow that up quite yet, he says.
That's all Adam's been able to, or that's all Ari's been able to do. If he draws a couple heroes, he's still in the game. But right now, things not looking so hot. Serves in for 1 with Memnite again, and Adam just cracks the Ratchet Bomb. Spellskite down. The aggressive force known as Spellskite.
Yep, with a Tempered Steel 2/6, doing its best Arachnid impersonation.
All right, there's Midnight Haunting. Get some tokens, which can be sorted up or otherwise.
And Adam's still at a relatively healthy 16 life. Though he has a Dismember, so possibly dropping to 12 here. But no, just untaps, draws his card.
Ari was ready to put that Spellskite away.
Yep.
Ari going to 18 from those Midnight Haunting tokens. I think that's a Batterskull in Adam Boyd's hand.
But no 5th land.
Yeah, and
Just says go again.
passes back to Ari, and Ari ships. Wow, really bad draw for Ari Lax here.
Definitely.
His 7 probably looked okay. I can imagine it's probably Memnite, Glinthawk Idol, Mox Opal, a couple lands, but...
Yeah, he sort of flooded out. I think he drew a 2nd Dispatch and a 2nd Mox Opal.
And there's a hero from Adam Boyd, and Ari needs to dispatch that right away. He can right now, if that's what he has in his hand. With he can activate Nexus, have 3 artifacts, and then go for the dispatch. Of course, if Adam has the Dismember, which he does, he gets completely blown out.
Right. And we'll see if Ari goes for it. Adam did telegraph the Dismember earlier when he thought a long time on Ari's end step with only a Nexus untapped. But Ari feels like he has to go for it right now.
All right, dispatch. Dismember Spellskite in response.
And the 2nd Dispatch.
2nd dispatch. All right, so Ari 2-for-1s himself to deal with that hero, and still not in great shape.
Definitely not. Adam with a Nexus and 2 Spirit tokens, so that Inkmoth Nexus is not going to be getting in anytime soon if Adam doesn't want it to.
All right, dropping to 14 off that Midnight Haunting attack. And there's a Mirror Crusader.
Not good news for Ari Lax. Vault Scourge is very, very late to the party.
Attacks for 1 poison. If there's anyone who can pull it back out of this, though, it's Ari. He knows how to play this deck really well. As the Vault Scourge comes down for Ari Lax.
Paying 2 life, dropping him to 14.
I think
12, yeah.
Ghost Quarter drawn from Adam Boyd, which will help deal with that Inkmoth Nexus. Serves in for 6, halving Ari Lax's life total. Halving, perhaps.
And Ari attacks with that Vault Scourge and another Midnight Haunting. The back-breaking Midnight Haunting.
I think that's it for Ari. Yep, and that's all. Ari picks up his cards. Not happy about how that went down.
Anticlimactic game 3, but sometimes a deck like Tempered Steel has to come out of the gates fast or else it won't win.
Yep, so Ari falls to Adam Boyd facing Blue White Blade. A lot of people said this was his worst matchup, but Ari got